been so long since I saw you last. Fill me in. What's happening in life?
You're really going to ask me a general? That's like when someone texts, how are you? You're like, where do I start?
What's the goss?
It's such a bad opener.
No, it's not.
What's the goss? I don't have any gossip.
That was always me as the sort of intro when you didn't see her for a few days.
Right.
What's the gossip?
Right. Well, we definitely had some back then.
And it was so fun because you knew exactly what it meant.
Yeah.
And it was it just provided hours of entertainment.
Yeah, that's true. We definitely had gossip. Oh my God, the gossip on that show.
What's the gossip? I don't think that was that was an inaccurate reenactment of her of who she is. I haven't done it in a while, so I feel a little rusty with it.
A little rusty.
Yeah.
No, we were just talking in the kitchen about this serious blues we all have.
Yeah. And I was saying to you two that Channy had just done a video saying that humans are not designed. She was re-quoting someone else. We're not designed as humans to take in so much heavy information alone. And you said it's because we have news and information coming at us all the time. And so
we can't escape it. Even when you pull in to get gas, there's news on the pump now. It's everywhere. So it's really about editing what you take in. It's you have to really be specific about how you get your news and when you get it and how you get it.
Sure. Also, I think it's maybe not tuning it out, but really something else she was saying that you and I discussed before. It's it's really about finding your community and holding on tight and really holding each other up and helping each other out. And in LA, we're seeing that with everyone who's been affected by the fires. People are really communities are coming together and they're trying to support one another and help each other as they can. And that goes across the board now. So it's collective feeling, this heaviness, this sort of
I know, and then throw in that Handmaid's Tale is happening right before our eyes. And you're just it's a lot.
I think about The Handmaid's Tale when they would do the flashbacks, when they live and they would go to use the ATM and they're like, why isn't my ATM
Oh,
working?
Elizabeth Moss, for in the pilot, was why can't I get my money out?
And I think they went to go order a coffee and they couldn't order a coffee.
Doesn't it scare you? I had an anxiety attack in the middle of the night. I woke up at 3 and my heart was racing. I don't ever get that.
I'm having a hard time sleeping right now.
In general, just you even putting yourself down?
No, I'm out like a light, but I have a hard time staying
asleep.
I don't wake up with panic, but I wake up with just this. It's been a heavy year so far. 2025 did not kick off with optimism by any means.
I had a good week. The first week I was on fire with my optimism. I was I feel great. I just felt, and then of course the fires
and everything else. But I'm waking up in the middle of the night and I just feel this sort of I feel actually a physical weight. And I think, oh God. Everybody.
Yeah, it's time for therapy again. I think we all need to get ourselves back in it.
Yeah. Yeah.
No?
For sure.
Yeah.
No.
It feels like
But our therapists are probably also feeling it too. So they're just taking on our shit while they're holding on to their shit.
But that's what they signed up for that. They went to school for that. How to hold other people's shit. No, they know how to do that.
So you're not alone is what I'm saying.
I know.
I get it.
But that's my real answer to what's the goss. It's that I feel depressed.
Yeah. I get it.
And also gossip, I don't really have it in my life anymore because I don't have.
Don't you feel like
I'm
gossip?
not on set. I'm not anywhere where or I'm not in a work environment where there's that sort of happens.
This is something I've noticed about gossip, and maybe it's age, but when I hear gossip, for maybe 5 seconds it seems interesting, and then I forget about it, and I think this isn't my problem. And
would it be someone's you're hearing something about someone's personal life, or what's your?
I don't know.
Give me an example of the type of gossip, not someone's actual gossip.
Oh, did you hear so and so did yada yada, or so and so is dating. Yeah.
A dating. Okay.
I'm generalizing because I'm
well,
not
that's
using
all right.
this as real as I'm not generalizing what I've just recently heard. I'm just saying overall gossip these days, it kind of goes in one ear and out the other.
It's petty.
I
usually.
just don't care. That's what I've come to realize. It's like I just want to mind my own business and not get involved.
Well, when someone is into gossip, there are a lot of reasons that's happening.
Right.
They're bored with their own life.
Right.
They're projecting like a lot of things onto that person, like whether it's like feeling better about themselves because someone's like, doing something horrible and it's like, I'm a great person, all that.
Yeah.
There's so many like dark things about gossip. So I would say if you're feeling not interested in it, it's probably a healthy place.
I feel great about it.
Yeah.
It was a really nice feeling because it's been happening for a while now where I'm like, oh yeah? I don't care.
Right.
Just don't.
Well, it's usually also like something, I don't know, unimportant.
That's the other thing. It's so irrelevant. Who gives a shit?
It's not real news about a person or what they're going through, like in a real way.
Who gives a shit? I don't care.
Yeah.
And it's always about, and it's usually,
hold on. There is one kind of gossip I do like.
Okay.
If I hear, like, if it just comes out of the blue.
What?
Like if there's like some sort of hookup that you never expected, like what? Like they're together? That interests me. For a split second, I'll get a high. I'm not going to lie.
No, yeah.
Come on. If you,
yes,
even if it was an ex-girlfriend
I don't disagree
hooking
with
up with someone you knew, or you'd
Leisha,
be like,
completely, I don't disagree with you. But after those 5 seconds, I realize I don't care.
Right. Then it doesn't matter. But it is like a quick hit.
It's a quick hit.
Yeah.
It's a quick hit. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Other than that, I feel uninterested in gossip or like what that would be that I'd be like, oh my God.
Yeah. Yeah. There's just so much, like you said, just swirling around with actual consequence that anything else,
it's almost like would feel like a relief if I was a gossipy person. Like what kind of life would I be living if I cared about everyone's life except like anything important going on in my own? That's a lot of time on someone's hands.
Right.
Which almost looks like, oh, how lucky for that person.
Right. Or like the state of the world doesn't really affect
that
you. You
too.
just want the Hollywood goss of who's hooking up with who and who's doing what and who's cheating on so-and-so because that's your bread and butter. Mm-hmm. It sounds like a nice, ignorant place to be, but I wouldn't feel like a real human being. Neither would you if that was you.
It does. It's not even in me.
Mm-mm. Anyway, I thought I'd share. That's all. You know what I did last night?
What? Stop touching your mic.
I can hold it like this.
Okay.
I don't think I can.
Oh, you can't wiggle.
Do that.
Okay. I was just trying to help. I wasn't.
I when I'm not waking up in the middle of the night, I'm a heavy sleeper, and Bugsy, Anna's been gone, and Bugsy likes to sleep in the bed. It's just you have a dachshund. It's non-negotiable. It's going to happen. And she's utterly cozy to sleep with. She'll curl in, and it's just delicious. But also she needs to go potty in the middle of the night, and sometimes I don't hear her. And then I wake up, and there's a naughty on the floor or something. But it's my fault. Because she's completely potty trained other than this. It's just, she wakes up in the middle of the night sometimes, and I don't hear it because I'm dead asleep.
Right.
So last night, I tied a string on her collar, and I put the string around my wrist, and it was long enough where it wasn't gonna like pull her or anything, but I felt the tug, and then it woke me up, and I let her out.
Did you see this on a video?
I made it up because I was just so frustrated with myself for not hearing her in the middle of the night that I thought, I'm going to try this.
What if she jumped off the bed?
The string was long enough. No, the string was long enough where it would get her off the bed, and if she was going to the room, I'd feel
it would tug you.
I would feel the tug on my arm.
What an interesting.
So I recommend.
Hack. I would say that's a hack.
It's a great hack. I recommend to anyone who has.
It's like a potty training hack.
It's that phase where your dog is fully potty trained and they no longer sleep in a crate, but you can't fight nature at times, and they have to go out, and they're little, so they don't bark when they want to go out. Like Mo will bark when she wants to go out, or she'll whine. Oh, done. But Bugsy's dead quiet. She doesn't know how to ask
She's
for
like
anything.
Yeah.
She'll just walk in circles. But if you're asleep, you don't hear
You don't
it.
hear the circles.
So that's why the string.
I almost feel like you could have patented that.
It's a string.
Well,
You want me
a
to
lot
patent?
of things are that. Look at a paper clip.
Okay. You want
Look
me
at a Post-it. Well, I'm thinking like
string
a band.
has already been.
String is, but you could find a different material. You could also put, like, it would come in two ends, right? You'd have like the collar end and then the human wrist end, the bracelet end.
I mean,
And then some sort of stretchable material. Maybe
Listen.
it stretches like an elastic.
this could have been an offshoot of Pet Wigs. Had you
Yes.
just
And
had
a
you stuck
bell.
with it.
Ding, ding, ding. Something. Anyway, call that something.
Why is getting a good night's sleep so hard? It's supposed to be the most natural thing in the world, yet somehow it feels like an impossible mission every night. You get night sweats, there's back pain, or your partner snores loudly next to you. The list can go on. Now, I used to struggle with getting a good night's sleep myself until I found Helix Sleep. Now, unlike one-size-fits-all mattresses, Helix has multiple models designed for different sleep needs. And what I really appreciated was taking the Helix Sleep Quiz, which helped match me with the most ideal mattress based on my body type, my sleeping positions, and the firmness preference. So whether you're a side sleeper or a back sleeper who prefers a firmer support, there's a model designed just for you. Now, I swapped out my old mattress for the Helix Midnight about a year ago, and truthfully, I will never go back. It offers the perfect balance between soft and firm. It offers excellent support without feeling too hard or too plush. I'm actually finally waking up feeling refreshed, and I have energy for working out in the morning because I feel 10 times younger. I know that's hard to believe. And Helix has an exclusive offer for our listeners. Go to helixsleep.com/pants for 27% off site-wide. This is the best offer available, better than you'll find anywhere else on their site. That's helixsleep.com/pants for 27% off site-wide. helixsleep.com/pants.
What could we call it? We have to come up with a name right now.
It could be called.
Something tug, like not pug tug, because then it's only
Potty
one. Potty tug.
Potty tug? Potty time? Maybe it's called potty time.
No, tug is
No,
great.
Potty time. Like
Potty
you
pull.
get pulled and you're like, oh, it's potty time.
Potty pull. Potty pull.
Potty pull. Potty pull's better. Potty
Should
pull.
we see if the URL is taken?
Do you want to pay for this?
If it's $1, I will.
Okay. Potty pull.
I have a couple of these
I
ongoing.
bet you do.
Because I grab them.
I bet you do.
And then I get those bills, and yeah, they're.
And how much
I'm getting
are they?
nickeled and dimed, but
You refuse to give it up?
I can't give it up because I'm like,
So what are you being
take it.
charged per quarter or year?
It's like $2.99 a month
Oh.
for a couple. But
So it's
I'm
like
telling you,
it's
I
like a
think
nap.
potty pull isn't taken. If I were to guess, do you want me to look?
Listen, we have
After-
enough
in the break?
We have enough of our in our break. We have enough
Okay.
to contend with. I don't need to.
These are the moments you either become
Yep.
a billionaire or
Sure.
you stay on
Potty
pants.
pull. I could get on Shark Tank and potty pull.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. I got
I
nothing.
think you
for
came
it.
up with something.
I
in the
just
night.
shared a story, and I didn't. Think
And I
was
think you
gonna
had
have to
what I'm saying is
I
I
was
think
gonna
you
have
had
to patent it.
a stroke of genius, and you're just letting
I don't think it was a stroke of genius.
Okay.
It was a hack.
I've never heard this before.
It was a hack because I was desperate, and it worked, and I had some string left over. That's it.
Okay.
That-
Don't yell at me. I'm
I'm
only
not. I'm
trying
not
to help
yelling
you.
at you. I'm justifying my point.
Yeah.
That's it. Is your neighborhood okay? There's like an entire siren
I don't think
brigade.
anybody's neighborhood is okay anymore.
I wonder what's happening out there. It's like a.
You never know.
Do you
The
know
only
that-
time I really not worry, but when I'm like a little, is when a helicopter is doing a low circle. That's when I'm like, all right, someone's on their
something's
feet
happening.
with a knife or a gun and I should go inside.
We've had that too, where we see the
And they're low. You hear it. They're just like,
not only are they low, but the radius that they're making those circles
Tiny.
in is getting smaller and smaller until it's right in your backyard, and you're like, I didn't realize anyone was here with me.
Do you know what happened one
What's going
time?
on?
Like probably in like late 90s, I was rehearsing with Heather in the valley in a place that she lived. Like it was like a pool house. This woman owned this whole sort of compound, and a bunch of lesbians were, no, that's not true. It's like 2 lesbians like were in apartments, and then this pool house became available. And it rotated between whoever was breaking up. Like I lived in it at a certain time. Right. Heather lived in it at a certain time. And someone before Heather had lived. So it was like, and then I knew another girl who had a big breakup who came in after me.
Okay.
So it was kind of like this pool house. It had a little tiny bathroom, tiny kitchen. Mm-hmm. Right. Okay. This woman was older who. So we would rehearse there sometimes. The whole band would come over and we'd do like little mini, like try to be quiet, but like we kind of didn't care because we were young and who cared? Mm-hmm. A little bit. And this happened. And it was like getting louder and louder. And I think there was more than one helicopter circling. It was so loud. And we like stopped and like, oh my God. And then all of a sudden it was at night and all these, then the spotlights started coming in and they were going into the little tiny pool house.
What?
And then after that, then cops came like storming into the backyard and they're like, go, 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 go. You gotta go, you gotta go. And we were all like, and we had to leave the thing and we had to climb over a wall because there was someone with a gun, I think in the house next door, like a man like outside, like wielding it and like, anyway, we were in like a police escape raid.
What neighborhood were you in?
It was like literally the valley.
I know, but what part of the valley?
It was in a very central, regular part of the San Fernando Valley, around like Laurel Canyon and.
Oh shit!
I don't know.
Right.
It was near a Ralph's.
Right. Okay.
We all know the neighborhood. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. My goodness.
Anyway, so I think I have a little. When I hear one, I'm like,
you get triggered.
What's next?
Yeah, sure. It's an unpleasant sound because it just. You think it goes away and then it goes pop, 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 pop,
Mm-hmm.
and then it comes back and then it disappears for a second and then it comes back.
And they're also at like
they're always at an
heavy angle.
And you're like, how are you doing that? How do you
do
maintain that for so long? Mm-mm. Have you ever been in a helicopter ride before? They're the most horrifying thing.
I've only gone up and then back down.
It's horrible. I was in a helicopter one time and that was enough. Enough.
How long were you in it?
I was in it for about maybe 20 minutes.
Were you on a tour or were you shooting?
No, I was shooting something and we had to do a helicopter ride. So the production thought, oh, you know what? We can get this footage of you in the helicopter when you're actually in the helicopter. So I'm in the helicopter. It's a great use of time. I can't argue their logic, but we're in the helicopter and the camera guy is, because you sit facing each other, and camera guy was sitting there facing me, and it was a windy day and we had to get from, I believe it was somewhere maybe around the Echo Park area, Koreatown, to somewhere downtown in the bowels of downtown LA. So it took 20 minutes and it was windy. And we go up in this thing and you've seen me on a plane, the turbulence, it's not my favorite, but on a helicopter it's
like
worse.
Grab my knee in a severe way every time.
I'm sorry.
No, I'm there for you. I'm just saying I know you.
We held hands.
You don't like it.
We held hands last time.
You get very scared. I don't love it either, but I feel a little like I'm taking care of you, which almost helps me.
Thank you.
I don't know who put me in the position of I'm going to save us, but we both did.
I'm usually very good, except in that situation. But the point is, in the helicopter, you really feel it because you're truly in a tin can with a propeller on top of it, pulling. And I turned white as a ghost. And from that moment, we finally landed. And from that moment on, I said, I'll never get in another one. I don't care where I am.
But you had to shoot a scene while you were white as a ghost and acting normal?
Yeah, something.
So you had lines, or did you just have to be in the helicopter with like
maybe I had a line or two. Maybe we didn't wind up using lines because it was so loud. I don't remember the details. I just know that I was having to have some kind of composure when I was like, something could happen any fucking second.
Sure.
And how do you abort from that situation?
You don't. It's over. What about Succession? They did a lot of those scenes, didn't
I think
they?
about it. I'm actually...
You're rewatching it.
I'm kind of rewatching it,
yeah.
Which I highly recommend because it's such a dense show. And when you've seen it the first time, you pick up on all this other stuff the second time. But don't think that in the pilot, when they get in those helicopters, I thought, oh my God, I don't know how they did that. It's terrifying.
Well, I think they're in fake helicopter sets.
I don't think
it's like how you can rent
sets.
This on set. You get a fake airplane. It's like every airplane movie is in a fake airplane.
I don't know. Maybe I don't know.
Wasn't my finale, my Alice's goodbye was on an airplane?
We never saw it. You tell me.
Well, no, I think you saw me putting luggage in overhead, and I think that was my, you know how you were asleep? Shane was asleep for your exit. I think I was just putting
oh yeah, those
overhead luggage.
The big finale moments. I was asleep, and you were just putting luggage.
I can't remember. I don't think you saw me after that. I think that might have been it.
Weren't you supposed to receive a ring?
Was that before? I did. I saw a ring.
Was that
Tom's
used?
Jacket.
Was that used?
You know what? I couldn't tell you. I think it was used.
I have no memory.
No, you must have seen me again.
I know. All I know, this is my memory of this moment you're discussing, is that they set up this whole rig of a fake airplane for you to do this whole scene.
Well, just to explain to everyone, it's in the back of a semi truck. So like the whole what are the 8-wheeler?
Yeah.
Truck.
Yeah.
Inside is the hull of an airplane.
They built the inside of that
but
to
these
look
are
like a plane.
common. They have all different shapes, sizes, models, probably eras of there's probably a Tariff Airlines or Brandif Airlines somewhere.
You told, the only memory that I have is of you saying we went through this whole rigmarole to shoot this thing and rent this thing and all the things and do all this and that and the other. It was a whole Megillah to do it, and at the end of the day, they just cut it. That's what I remember.
Yeah, but I just want to describe, because I was so fascinated and I'm very excited to be finally using one of these toys that get rented all around Hollywood. It's really fun. You're because you walk on the back of the truck and you're in an airplane.
I did a movie set
cool.
on an airplane, and they actually had an old airplane, and it was sitting in a studio hangar.
Oh, that's different.
And you just every day you go to set and you go on to set into this airplane.
Right.
And you sit on this airplane.
Well, this is like a janky, 1-800 rent an airplane. We're Gen Q situation. It rolled up onto the parking lot. Okay, so I'm sure there are probably gorgeous private jets that are
there was that HBO documentary about the influencers, how they would always use their platforms to show this fabulous life they're living, but in reality they'd go downtown to these these places where you could
rent a plane
or to make it look like you're on a private jet or something, and you could take photos for your social media for
there's
content.
All right. So there's all different situations.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, this I thought was very interesting because you're in the back of a truck and then you're in an airplane. But it has all the seats.
Was it rounded?
Yeah, it's literally I don't know if they take one apart and shove it into the back of. Yeah, but you really feel like you're on a plane. There's first class, there's coach.
I wish I could have witnessed the reality of
there was a woman had the role of the
flight attendant.
I
think flight attendant.
There was an actress who played the part of a flight attendant who was telling Alice to calm down because I was trying to get off the plane. Once I saw the ring, I was get me off the plane.
Oh, so we did see the ring.
You saw? Well, they cut the scene.
What?
And the actress was super funny.
I don't get it. They cut. I thought you just said they cut the scene, but we see the plane.
I think if I remember, and correct me if I'm wrong.
I can't correct you at all. I don't know.
I think you only saw, he got up to we get on the plane. He said, I need to use the restroom. And then I put my stuff away and his jacket's there. I pull it down and I find the ring. But so that was, I think, on the show. But after that, we shot a whole scene where I tried to get off the airplane.
Oh.
Because I don't want to get married. And I don't remember if that was my exit from the series.
Well, it's better than being asleep.
Yeah, it is.
What are you complaining about?
I wasn't complaining. I wasn't complaining. I was telling you a story. So I brought it up because I thought, they must have fake helicopters.
I suppose they do, right?
They have to. And plus, I bet there are a lot of people that are
No,
I'm not
must.
going
They
up.
I'll
do it. I'll shoot it down here.
Yeah, and then they get B-roll and they get all the choppers coming and going from.
It's really flying, but you're not on it.
Yeah,
yeah.
Maybe once or twice they actually were in the air, but for the larger scenes and the amount of people in them, you're right.
I think it's an old-timey way to shoot to actually get on a helicopter. First of all, you need a real helicopter. You need a landing pad and a launching pad. You need a pilot. Who knows how to fly
Well,
it?
we're
Like that
talking
seems
about
so
it-
expensive.
Well, on a show like that,
Right. You had it.
the budget can swing it. On a show
Yeah.
like ours,
Yeah. Yeah.
no, you
it's
cannot.
all boop, boop, boop. Hey, I heard you guys rent.
Hey. So how much do you have in your ATM? Because we can split that.
We're going to have to ask all the actors to chip in.
We started a GoFundMe.
All right, we got a question for y'all.
Okay.
It's from Daphne from Ohio. I'm starting to get in touch with my anger for the first time, and it's really uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Do you have healthy go-to ways to channel your rage?
Ooh,
I have a technical question.
sure.
Is anger and rage is rage like it's worse, right? Rage is.
It sounds worse, right?
Sounds worse.
Maybe she
So
didn't
this
wanna-
person's angry.
Maybe she didn't want to use angry twice or anger twice in a sentence because it sounds funny.
True.
That's what I would do. I would do the thesaurus. I'd be like, what's a similar word to anger?
Okay.
Pull rage.
I was just trying to check in with Daphne if it's are we talking anger? Because we can all be angry. Or are we talking rage?
Maybe
To me, it's
channel
different.
your anger.
Well, okay. So Daphne's she's mad. Daphne's mad.
Well, that sounds like an
Healthy
understatement.
ways. I don't know, Kate. I feel like you do a lot of physical things that might help Daphne, like boxing or I don't know something.
Oh, Daphne. I don't
Okay.
think there's a one size fits all. I can tell you it works for me.
Mm-hmm.
I have to believe that. Damn it! It's a hard thing because it's just like what is it that's pissing you off? How big or small is it? Is it an ongoing thing where you're just getting wildly frustrated more and more because you're seeing the same results, or is it just something that happened in the moment and you're just like, oh, what a shitty experience? Or is it bigger than that? It's hard. I'm very into doing physical things to try to release it. I try very hard at that. It doesn't always work though, unfortunately. A good night of sleep helps. Could get a little more proper perspective. I think the feeling of anger is something that we all feel very uncomfortable with, and for that we ignore it. But to work through it is a bigger task and highly uncomfortable. And sometimes you just have to do the things that you feel like doing to make yourself feel better in that moment, just to kind of push through it, to be kind to yourself. Do you follow me?
Yeah, I follow. Yeah, I can follow you.
That's why I say I don't think there's a one size fits all approach. I don't like talking about it too much when I'm angry. I know that.
Makes it worse.
For me, it does. It's like it just you just spawn. You're just stewing in it, and then you hear that then you're stewing in it. So, go ahead.
Well, the thing that rang true for me that I identified with was that she feels that it just started happening and she feels uncomfortable with it. I remember that happened when I was younger and I was so happy growing up. And then when, you're in your 20s and then you just start experiencing real life problems and situations. I didn't know, and I would become angry about things. I really didn't know what to do.
So what would you do with it?
I didn't deal with it. I was so uncomfortable with the feeling. I was like, I want to just not feel this. So it's almost like I probably became positive.
Toxic positivity.
Toxic positivity.
So would you gaslight yourself into
Yeah,
saying
because I'm
this
like,
doesn't
I'm
exist?
happy. This doesn't. Yeah, I'm not a sad person. I'm not. It still happens to me today, but I'm way more in touch with.
And so how would it manifest in other ways since you wouldn't address it?
Yeah, I think I made bad life decisions. I would do things that weren't because I wasn't in touch with myself. Either with people or relationships, or I just wanted to feel anything but that feeling. I hate feeling angry. It's probably
a horrible
worse than feeling sad. Sad I can understand more. Angry is what the hell? My family, nobody expressed anger really.
So you were
I didn't see it. I didn't know it. I didn't know anyone who was I didn't have a friend who was really angry or negative. I didn't have it just wasn't around it.
So for lack of a better word here, then you were an avoidant.
No, I was unfamiliar with it.
No, but when it creeped up, you would avoid it. You would push it away.
Push it away. Yeah.
Avoidant, yeah.
But not like because not like I don't want to deal with that. It was more like, oh, I don't want to feel that. Like I'm not angry. That's weird. Ugh. Like I'm going to go be happy. What's anger?
And so would it just sort of dissipate on its own then?
Well, I'm sure it went somewhere, but it wasn't, I just get it.
And no one else in your life at the time would notice when you were trying to put on a happy face when in reality, maybe something happened that they knew you'd be pissed about?
Would they notice? No, I think I always had like the reputation. Even when you met me, I always had that happy reputation.
You were just faking it.
It's not even that though. That's funny you say that because I wasn't faking it. I just didn't want to feel it.
That's avoidance.
Okay, but I didn't like. It felt so gross to me to feel angry.
It's not a nice feeling by any means.
I know, but nobody ever taught me like, when you feel angry.
Does anyone ever teach you though? I don't think I was taught how to handle it either.
I don't know.
I never got a rule book saying, okay, when you're angry, Kate, you should go do this.
I'm sure at this point, parenting is probably like.
It's very different now, but our generation, I don't think any of us normally got a handbook to how to deal with this sort of thing.
I also didn't have a lot to be angry about growing up. Like, it's crazy, but I had a great childhood. Like, I know that's great, but I
think it's great.
I had a happy home. I had parents who were, I don't know. Sadness was definitely a thing in my house. Mm-hmm. If I felt sad, like my mom, like I went into therapy, but anger wasn't a thing. Mm-hmm. They're very different to me.
Yeah, anger is an uncomfortable feeling, but also it's like, what kind of anger is it? Like, is it that deep-seated, like, to the core anger or just frustration, pissed off, cranky anger? What is it?
I don't know.
I don't know how to tell you how to handle it. But something my therapist taught me once is that to feel it, to work, you have to go through it to get past it.
Of course.
That's sort of an age-old thing, but it never really made sense to me until I started to actually do that, and there's massive truth in it.
But I'm wondering if this person is younger, because I'm like, I bet it's like the first time. But if they're older, then I'm like, you've pushed this down or long enough that I would say like get right into counseling. Because if you're angry, like you're saying, if it's something situational, that's one thing. But if it's something like you're just waking up feeling angry and you don't know why, totally different.
Yep, 100%. Or maybe this person, Daphne, just has had a shit battle of luck recently.
Right, situational.
Yeah,
like it's
situational. Yeah. And it's just sometimes a person can only take so much.
Mm-hmm. Definitely try to figure out what it is. I mean.
Wow, great advice, Leisha. Make sure to follow that, Daphne. Try to figure out what it is. Brought to you by Leisha Hailey.
Need to be slammed like you were. Come on.
There you go.
It's coming up. My anger's coming up.
Well, let's make sure you avoid that, so we'll wrap up the episode.
Okay.
Well, another delightful episode with you, Leash.
Pants.